Welcome back to Limbus Company Daily Mirror Dungeon. Continuing on with, some different usages of the new units. Of course, we gotta take Queeclef and use him in an Envy team. I've got what I think is a fairly straightforward Envy team. Mostly consists of units that have, Envy defensive skills, with the exception being Queeclef, who, has Envy skill 2 and skill 3, so it's also fairly good. Also, Deichi Rodion, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use her or not. Mainly because of the fact that, she doesn't have a way to, like, guarantee Envy. Like, if she had an Envy Ego or something, then it would be, like, a different situation. Like, Queeclef, even if he doesn't have, like, any Envy, he always has his teleport, which he can, like, pull out. But, like, we can always just go for, like, something like this. We don't really want to do this first floor, of course, because, we need a 6. We do probably want to add Deichi Rodion sooner or later. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any other units in the game that have defensive, skills with Envy. Barring stuff like, of course, like, I think Warp Faust or Warp Merso, who we can't even use because we're using other identities for them, Or, like, Base Heathcliff. Well, we could always try, like... I don't know. Okay, nice. This guy's gonna survive this due to the slash resistance. Oh yeah, we started with Wound Cleared because there's a fair bit of bleed on this team, so I figured, why not a little more bleed? Can be like a secondary focus of this run. And we've got, like, no bleed count on this team. We've just got potency, so, funny. I don't know, the bleed potency matters more, because then we can get Queeclef's skill 2 to give him a bunch of poise. Which is pretty nice. Okay, speaking of poise to people with the gloom. I mean, that's going to be Faust, unless we have Rodion. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I mean, I feel like I kind of want to go for here just for, like, the full resonance gaming. Wait, go for Snag Harpoon instead of Severnaut. There we go. Or vice versa. I mean, go for Severnaut instead of Snag Harpoon. So you gain just the bunch of coin power, bunch of, like, flash power. You got a bit of Envy damage up as well from Merso there. From his skill 2, buffing adjacent units' Envy skills. Pretty funny stuff. Yeah, the Envy focus is odd. If I wanted to, I could have also added, Yi-Song to this team. Star Song to be specific. But that's only an Envy skill 2, so I was kind of not the most thrilled by such a thing. I'm already kind of, like, questioning how much I want Deichi on the team. There's not, like, a lot of good Envy units beyond these 5, though, unfortunately. At least for the sake I'm using them for. But we really need a 6th person, because if we get a 6th person, we can get a 6 Envy Resonance turn 1. Which means, and you need a 6 Envy Resonance to get Dawn's counter working. So it's a trade-off. Very much. I could just go for someone with, like, an Envy skill 1 and nothing else. Like, the main reason for, like, Deichi is that Deichi's got a really strong Envy skill 2. Decisions. I really hope we can, change, like, Rodion's, like, skill set a little bit, though. That would be really good for us. If we can just give her more skill 2s. Same for, like, some of our other people, too. We just want to give them more of their Envy skills. Because even if we can rely on counters and, like, defensive skills and whatnot, it's better to not, because then we can actually deal damage for most of them. Of course, the exception being Dawn is always fine having, Dawn using her counter is always perfectly fine, because that is her best way of dealing damage on Envy. But sometimes you can't actually, get counters off if you're, if the only enemy is a stagger to so. So it's not the most consistent thing. But finding the balance is the key part of this build. Basically, everyone benefits from getting their decks changed here, though. I mean, like, you, I guess, you really don't. You want more skill 3s, though, but, like, Ishmael's the only one who really doesn't benefit all. Ishmael's just here for another person with an envy defensive skill. That's all she's going to be doing pretty much this entire run, I think. Unfortunate, but there is a very decent chance when we do inevitably get Captain Ishmael, which will have an envy defensive skill. I wouldn't be shocked at this rate. Kind of expecting some sort of pride resonance thing to be going on with Captain Ishmael this rate. The recent focus on resonance kind of showing very true, and of course, if we do get an Ahab MD, of course it's going to be pride related. Especially given how both Queecliff and Starsang have pride skill 1s. Just saying. Yeah, of course, next week isn't, there is a new banner next week, but not IDs, of course. We're getting Pursuance Rodion, which looks really cool. Makes me wonder if Mirror Dungeon 3 is gonna, you know, actually finally add one of the two Heavenly Abnos as like a combat encounter, or if they're gonna add more Heavenly Abnos in just the events itself. Because there is 2 right now. Because there's the Heavenly Executioner's Scribe, which is the one Pursuance is based off of, and then there's like the Heavenly Beast, whatever it's called. It's something along those lines. I think what am I too sure. Something along those lines, but it seems to be a set of Abnos that is going to become prevalent sooner or later, so it may be sooner. Is what I'm getting at. Okay, we'll throw in Rodion, and whenever Rodion has a skill 2 available, then we'll go full envy mode, and if she doesn't, then we won't go full envy mode. Like, this isn't the full envy mode type of turn, but next turn could be. So maybe we save our envy skills for next turn. I'll do the envy only run sooner or later. After the horrors, there was the pride only run a while back. It'll certainly be something. Is there being attacked by anyone else? You're gonna be attacking this guy. We do not want to have to counter you then, because Rodion's just gonna stagger that guy if we try that. Okay. So it is not a time for Dawn counter, sadly. Dawn got buffed by Merso there. Fancy. Unfortunately, so did Faust, who wasn't really attacking that turn, so didn't get any benefit from it. Rodion gaining this poise. I do wonder where the gimmick with, you know, this Pursuance is going to be. It's definitely going to be something stupid with DHE. It would be really funny if they played into the DHE joke and made it so Pursuance was a discard ego. Really hope we get discard ego sooner or later. Definitely a lot of potential with that. Or like maybe like the corrosion makes you discard everything. That could be fun. Dawn skill. Do we really need to change Dawn skills? I don't even know if I want to. I'm taking the Clover. And I think I'm just gonna leave Dawn skills the way they are. Because, sure, her skill 1, we'd rather more skill 2s and more skill 3s on her, but at the same time, we're fine if she does remain the way she is already. Okay, Envy turn. Love to see it. Faust is trapped in the eternal purgatory that is evade mode. 24, very nice. Inflicts a little bit of bleed too. Very, very good stuff. Especially if we can get you below 75% HP, it's even more bleed. Of course, Mirror Dungeon 2 moment, it's unlikely to happen too easily. Namely because we heal every fight. Snaggerpoon Gaming. Unfortunately, no bleed on these guys, so you're not gaining any poise. Catch breath, good stuff.
적확한 한압이었어.
상황이 좋다고 할 수는 없지만 여러분은 하실 수 있을 거예요.
And we finish you two. Nothing personnel.
두렵진 않네요.
가까워진다. 항해의 끝.
I am glad that we're getting a new He for Rodion, because I think Rodion 4th match team is probably my least favorite eco in the game. Mainly because the animation, it lasts like 2 seconds. I'm sure it can be good, you know, it's like Wrath Fragility. I've really barely ever used it, but I'm sure it could be good, but it's just so uninteresting.
걱정 마시오. 최고의 혈구 하나만 남아 있다면 생명은 어떻게라도 보존될 테니.
Let's start out with killing you guys. Not a lot of envy stuff going on this turn, it would seem. I do think there's a lot of potential with this team regarding Faust. If we just make it so, second turn is our desired envy turn, turn 1, if we get Faust to use her skill 2, she'll gain 4 haste next turn. Which means she's very likely to go first, so she can go for Hex Nail. If we corrode Hex Nail, it'll inflict 3 envy fragility, which will just buff everything we have. And if we don't corrode it, it'll be 3 pierce fragility. And 1 envy fragility. Because the corrosion is 3 envy, 1 pierce, while the normal one is 3 pierce, 1 envy. Like, 4 hastes are really good. I don't really think we need to, like, bother with the funny attacks, but like we might as well. Envy Gaming. Cyborg is an interesting fight. What did I say though? Yeah, LCR Faust just works very well. For this team, we'll have to get a little lucky to make sure you actually get your skill 2 turn 1 if you want to do that, and we'll need to, like, you know, take 2 turns to do that then. I'd really prefer, like, killing something in 1 turn for the joke, but I can see that's a situation where 2 turns might work a little better. Who knows, maybe we're lucky Faust will just roll fastest speed. Because, like, she's got a very good speed roll. She's got, you know, 3 to 6. It's consistent, it's not, like, great. But, like, what else do we have? That's like a 4 to 6, 4 to 6, 4 to 6, 4 to 6, 2 to 5. Okay, yeah, so you've got the highest floor of anything here. Very interesting to see. Okay, make sure you get brought down to 1 this turn. Overkill moment, I know, but it works well. We're stacking bleed. If only we had a Snag Harpoon to use this turn, then we'd get a stupid amount of poise on Heathcliff, but unfortunately no. Stuck with his skill 1. I mean, you just actually do have a fair bit of poise already. You managed to get a good Snag Harpoon off on these guys already. Thanks to them being great for, you know, building up bleed, given how you can just kind of wail on them. W-A-I-L, wail, of course. Do you have just you left? I love the city I live in. Actually, you know what? Let's blow it up. There we go. It's the exact same thing, but we take a bunch of damage. There's never any reason to go for that option. Pretty cool, right? Okay, Sever not. Good damage, and you have 17 HP, so Deep Cuts finishes the job. Cool. Okay. What do we want here? Blunt is funny. Clip Scarlet Moths is funny, too, though. Yeah, we'll go for it. Does a little bit more damage each turn, based on how much damage you dealt last turn. It's a good effect. Okay, looks good.
목표인가요?
Abnormality.
손쉽죠.
Very decent chance of Mirror Dungeon 3 will get actual abnormality fights in focused encounters. It's definitely not impossible. We're getting to the point where like some like actual like abno fights we fought in the past are roughly on the level of like random goons. Actually, you want to counter this thing? Yeah, you counter this guy. You counter this guy. You're evading there, but we can like hit you as well. Okay, looks good.
알게 합니다.
Weight of Knowledge will do good.
무지하니까
Yeah, the Gloomguts are weak to Envy, so they're having a fun time, it seems. Tails is unfortunate,
훌륭하오.
but you wouldn't have killed either way, so that's fine.
특별히 첨언할 이유도 없군.
Nice. Didn't even need the fourth coin there. Very silly stuff. Ooh. Of course, you hitting allies is not going to be great for you, because both Dawn gains buffs and Heathcliff gains buffs when allies take damage.
상황이 좋다고 할 수는 없지만
That guy died a horrible
하실
death.
수 있을
It
거예요.
happens. You sever not. No, sever not this guy. Yeah, okay. And also just vengeance him. Just make sure it dies. It is very dead. Yeah. Sever not, just vengeance, and excruciating story on a Pride Pekatula with 113 HP. You've got no chance. Like comically small chance. Yep, there we go. Bonk.
이걸로 제가 효과적이네요. 이 방식을
The door.
기억하는 게 좋겠어요.
That one's slightly alive, but we have Faust to finish it off. Good job.
두렵진 않네요.
Pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. Gluttony or Pierce, defense level down. We've got Pierce. I don't think we've got a single Gluttony on our team. Yeah, no.
본인이 나서지.
No shocker there. But we do have Pierce. Especially if we do like some like turn 1 Hex Nail type stuff later on. You can counter, but you're not going to gain the buff from it. Is it worth it then? We'll be able to... I think we just attack, yeah. We've got some strong attacks this turn. We don't gain enough of benefit from going for the full Envy for me to think it's necessary. We can just go for a bunch of Envy attacks and just focus on killing hard.
깜짝 놀랐어요. 정신 차리게.
God.
장부의
The tattoo with
맨정신에
Just
지배하는
Vengeance works very well.
적확한 한압이었어.
Precise move. Indeed, indeed. A little bit of Envy Absolute Resonance there at the end, but not a big difference. There's actually a really high chance that DHE, or no, not DHE, Pursuance Rodion is an Envy Ego. Which would be really funny. And one that is based on Envy Resonance, maybe like healing based on Envy Resonance. That could be really funny if they're going to play into this bit. And Project Moon loves choosing like a bit and just sticking to it for weeks on end. So I would not be shocked. Double bleed, sure thing. Let me give you another skill too. I kind of like that idea. Just making sure you can get the haste idea off. It's a gloom skill. It's not an envy skill, so it's not like the best thing in the world, but it's still very good for us. Murzo keeps on rolling fastest. Wonder what's up with him. You can save that. Next turn we'll be able to go for the envy gaming. Looks like. These guys don't really, need the envy gaming to die, but
맞는 거야.
could help.
오. 아, 이런. 아무튼 놀라운 전방이에요.
저거 맞추기 쉽고.
타겟 무력화 확인.
공적을
Yeah.
인생과의 보고에
I mean, it's been lined up perfectly. Why would I not go for the Envy Resonance?
늘어졌네 저거. 맞추기 쉽고.
Like, the one thing about DHE Rodion is the fact that
양호
we can cycle through her deck decently fast thanks to discard, but I need to keep the discard in mind to make sure I don't accidentally ever discard what I'm planning to use next turn just because I forget that she's going to discard it with like a skill 3.
그런 거야?
That'll really only happen if you go for a skill 3 instead of a skill 2 when there's a skill 2 in the deck or in the hand. So it's definitely a minor potential issue. And the discard in general will just help us. If we draw like a skill 1, skill 3 first turn with DHE Rodion, it means we'll be able to cycle through a little faster. Okay, we're gonna start out with the Envy, it looks like.
없을지도요?
Snag Harpoon on you. That's good, I guess. And we'll go for the full resonance, yeah. Might as well. These guys are weak to Envy after all. Pierce as well. Unfortunately, our one Pierce attack that we're using is going for the guy that's neutral to Pierce instead of one that's weak to it, but it's also the boss, so, good enough target, I guess.
놀라운 만남이네요. 적을 완벽히 파악하고 있으신 거군요.
Okay. Heathcliff gained a little bit of, you know, offense level up there, thanks to allies being attacked.
인내적인 조치는 필요 없을 거예요.
You can't do anything here, that's fine. You can just block, honestly. Discard your other skill 1, and maybe you'll draw a skill 2. You're definitely drawing a skill 3 if nothing else, so that'll be good. Sever not. Not has been severed.
약점이었겠죠?
Or not. Who knows? Blocked, blocked.
참.
You don't have blunt fragility?
어떻게 끝이 보이네요.
Interesting. Blunt curse, yeah. I don't think anyone's ever looked at what Muriel does, so, you know, I'm not really shocked I didn't know that.
지금은 두렵지 않아요.
가까워진다.
두렵진 않아요.
항이 끝.
3 blunt fragility, that theoretically could be an issue sometimes. I doubt it. That's a lot of damage.
효과적이네요.
Nice.
이 방식을 기억하는 게 좋겠어요.
Good stuff. Nothing great here. We can grab this to get, you know, 87 cost, which is better than the other two. It also means we can't find the Traveler from a random event. Or the God of Travelers, I mean.
목표인가요?
Everyone's favorite abnormality. It's a funny guy.
유감 없는 싸움을
Right, it's a Folks encounter. It is not an automatic encounter. Non-envy turn. Just Vengeance, one of these things. Yeah, this will do good damage still. Something like that. Do we need to stock spray that person? Probably not. That target, I guess. Not the most necessary thing to, you know, stock, but it works. You've got 20 bleed. God, one of these runs, I am going to get the red Gossip EM, and we're gonna be in such like a great place. You get so much bleed potency on this team, and I know the Wound Cleared is, you know, a lot of it because Wound Cleared is stupid. But it still adds up.
아무튼 놀라운 한 방이네요.
적확한 한압이었어.
Also, Dawn's damage is the one that's going to be dealt half to a random person next turn. Decent chance that kills one of the Pekatule. Not quite. It hit one of the ones relatively high HP, but if it hit any of these three, they would have died. So that's fine. Ooh, we can't get the full resonance off here. That's sad. We can still get a decent resonance off, and we could ego up if we wanted to. We just kind of don't need to, you know. This will be good.
맞는 거야.
훌륭하오. 이외에 특별히 천원을 가까워진다. 항의 끝. 가까워진다. 항의
유효타 좋아. 계속 집중하지.
Some Poisio gifts could also work well for us. I mean, of course, the thing that we like really would want would be the Endorphin kit, because that just works super well with this team. We also could use like Blind Obsession sometimes if we wanted to, like in a turn we're not going for Envy Resonance, because that gives a bunch of stuff. Oh, Lithograph, funny thing to see there. Because the Rodion Pursuance, you can actually like see it going on, like the bunch of lithographs being sent in like the corrosion attack. There's like projectiles, which is cool. We don't really need to change fast skills at all. I think we just save our cost for the final shop next floor. Hopefully we get, you know, to change Rodion's
목표인가요?
deck.
손쉽죠.
Other people could be good too, like changing Heathcliff's too, making sure he's got more envies. But I don't know.
말하면 녹음되는 건가요?
You can't go for full resonance, we can go for close enough though.
누구도 볼 수 없게.
I think we only need 6 resonance for the sake of like Dawn's passive. I think just resonance in general is just good most of the time though. There's some things that it definitely matters for. Like I think like Dawn's skill 2, skill 3 gains more power at 6. It gains like 3 or something.
인도적인 조치는 필요 없을 거예요.
Yeah, or 3 offense level, I mean. 1 offense level by highest absolute resonance divided by 2. So at 6 resonance, you gain 3, effect by 50% rounded down, so you gain 4 effectively offense level. And you gain double effect in focused encounters, but this is not a focused encounter. That's just a way to, like, counterbalance the lessened gain of, the lessened gain to skill slots in focused encounters, making it so that resonance strats are harder to use. It does mean that it is nice that resonance strats are one of those few gimmicks that work better in normal encounters than focused encounters. Because most gimmicks really suffer in normal encounters more so than anything else due to the lack of free will you get when targeting. But like, because stuff like resonance, charge, poise, that's based on yourself as opposed to stacking something on the enemy. That's really the difference between whether or not it's good in normal encounters or focused encounters. Sure, we'll take the event now. Sure, we'll take this. It's good for Rodion. She can gain some offense level when she stacks her sinking.
이 정도는 하급 임무 축에도 안 드네요. 본인이 나서지.
Doesn't matter too much. But it's cool. Okay. Some more nightly beings.
상관없을지도요?
Recording. Record this guy's name on his tombstone, that is.
적확한 하나비였어.
Got him. It is Precise U song. Thank you for noticing, I try hard.
무지하니까
유효타 좋아. 계속 집중하지.
Stay focused. Will do, Gregor. I'd never lose my focus.
효과적이네요.
Yeah, I'd
이
win.
방식을 기억하는 게 좋겠어요.
Okay, one of those clashes too. Good to see. Good to see. I don't think there was a low chance of us, like... I mean, I think there was a low chance of us failing. I think our chances were fairly good for that clash, but still good to see. Quigglyph's clashing power can be, you know, bad in situations, especially without, you know, anti-res and stuff going on. But it's good to see stuff going right.
거의 진압되겠는걸요?
맞아. 여기까지 다 울리지 않았어?
But now we get to fight the boss of the floor. What was it weak to? Might have been... I didn't look. Okay, we'll see. Could be something good, though. Okay.
목표인가요? 손쉽죠.
I mean, this dies.
부상 없이 나오는
There's really not much else you can say about what's going to be going on this turn.
오늘은 상관없을지도.
We'll make sure to, like, deep cuts. Build up speed, go for some hex nail plays next turn, that kind of thing.
직접
Otherwise, I don't know. Just Vengeance alone stackers this fraud. Weak to Blunt and Pride.
효과적이네요. 이 방식을 기억하는 게 좋겠어요.
Well, thanks to Snagger Boom, we actually stacked up a pretty decent amount of bleed count. That's our one good bleed count inflictor. Snagger Boom, the target has high bleed potency, which is usually pretty frequent as long as it's a one-sided Snagger Boom. Okay, nice. You are low HP. You are the fast person on the team. Let's see, does Crota Telepole hit the right thing? It does not. Okay, then we're gonna go for normal Telepole. It's only... That's not Telepole, what am I saying? Hexanail. Crota Hexanail also doesn't hit the right thing, though. Okay, good to know. So we go for normal Hexanail then. 3 Pierce Fragility and 1 Envy Fragility. Still means that Snag Harpoon's gonna do a stupid amount right now. You're also gonna get some crits off, but you know, you're getting a 40% damage boost to those ones. On top of the fact that we've, you know, got the Envy Resonance going, so this one's gonna gain, you know, coin power and stuff. This'll be a good turn. That's the general consensus you should be getting from what I'm saying right now. Even if you do resist Envy, which you might. I don't even know. You'd think he resists Envy because he is an Envy Abno, but it's not always that simple. Okay, you're Hexnailing again. It looks like you hit a different part, though. That's fine. This team really doesn't have a lot of good, like, normal, like, one-coin attacks beyond Egos.
치명적인 한방이었어.
거의 진압되겠는걸요?
Cool.
여기까지 다 울리지 않았어?
Like, what do we have for single coins beyond Egos? Like, there's Faust skill 1, there's... I mean... Sure, we'll take today's expression now. How many single coin attacks do we have? That is a good question. Like, there's your skill 1. You don't have any. You've got all 2 coins. You don't have any single coins. Do you have a single coin? You've got all 2 coins. Yeah, our only... Without using Egos, the coin will only trigger for Faust's skill 1. Which is not the kind of attack you want to use, like, in any situation. Usually it's better just evade with her for the sake of the Envy Resonance. If she only has skill 1s.
제가 도움이 될지는
So, very funny to see.
노력해보겠습니다.
Okay, we can go for this. Looks good.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
A little bit of Envy, not enough to get like anything fancy going on that front, but that's fine. Stagger.
좋아, 계속 집중하지.
It is a little shame that Queecliff is making She-Heathcliff, you know, seem pretty invalidated, because, you know, this is just kind of the better She-Heathcliff. But She-Heathcliff has, you know, the 2-target mass attack skill 3, which is so funny for a 2-star to have.
가서 끝장내죠.
Definitely a case of if only he was, you know, better, but it's probably for the best that he isn't better. The fact that it's a mass attack is very odd. Like, the other two, it makes perfect sense why they'd have mass attacks and, like, normal identities, because, like, Vice Bush is, like, doing, like, the weird floral stuff, and it's based on an ego. And Regret, well, you know, it's based on, like, it's based on an ego as well. And it's a big, blunt, unga-bunga, hit the floor, hit a bunch of guys at once type of deal. But Heathcliff just, his skill 3 is just so good it hits 2 people at once. I suppose. Okay, we'll take that. It's an Envy Ego gift. It doesn't synergize with Envy at all, but we'll take it. Great code. That synergizes with our limited Gloom stuff. Cool.
목표인가요? 손쉽죠.
We've got a fair bit of Gloom, though. And we can always just... Oh, I guess we didn't take Fluid Sac. I was gonna say we can always just Fluid Sac Trolland, but... Kinda can't. Ooh. We are losing with excruciating study to a bug guy. Well, we still got 2 coins off. That's good.
효과적이네요. 이 방식을 기억하는 게 좋겠어요.
These guys are blunt weak, though, so really... And, like, a good skill 2 or something is enough to stagger them. Assuming they land. Okay, get your haste up. Not really gonna get any benefit from it, but
저 부표처럼 흔들리는 놈이
fine.
제1 사냥감이겠네요.
Little envy resonance, just a little one. Oh, I'd have you like counter there, and I guess there's no reason to actually. Because if we had you counter there, you wouldn't actually get the funny counter. I was gonna say I would have you counter, but you know you wouldn't actually be able to get it off because it's unclashing. You would hitting a staggered thing, but even then, it wouldn't have mattered. Another case of DHE Rodion's lack of envy kind of getting in the way a wee bit.
맞는 거야.
The one thing I worry about DHE Rodion is there's one potential thing. There's one potential skill loadout that would be awful. That being if it's a skill 2 at the top and a skill 3 at the bottom. Or I mean vice versa. If it's skill 3 at the top and skill 2 at the bottom and there's no envy, no other skill 2s in sight. Because either you use the skill 2. This is assuming we want to use it skill turn 2. But either we use the skill 2, and then we've used the skill 2, it's gone. We use the skill 3, it discards. We defend /ego and it replaces the skill 2. And it would just kind of be down to fate whether or not we draw another skill 2. Now that I've said it, it might happen against this upcoming boss, so
잘 되었으면
we'll see.
좋겠네요.
It's against Fairy Gentleman, so we can just gun him down. Weak to Pierce is really good. I think he's neutral to...
제가 도움이
Envy?
될지는 모르겠지만
I really want to say, at
노력해보겠습니다.
least. I don't know. More bugs! Fighting a lot of bug guys right now, it seems. Losing a lot of clashes to bug guys, too.
장부에 따르면
Or I guess...
맨날 추괴하니
Yeah,
자들이
it
죽은
happens.
것 같이 흔들려. 보다 유리하지 않겠어?
Them's the breaks. Yeah, you do that so you can cycle through your deck a little faster. I'm gonna keep on calling it decked. What's the term? Do they call it deck? They might actually call it deck. Might be a weird name though. You never know with Project Moon.
우리가 우세. 서둘러
Yeah,
끝내보자.
okay, Pride Resonance time, it looks like.
봐주마.
We used the skill 1 on Faust, but it killed, so we don't even get the coin benefits. SMH.
가까워진다. 항해 끝. 훌륭하오. 이외에 특별히 첨언할 가까워진다. 항해 끝.
공격 능력 평가?
Yeah, this seems pretty good.
제대로 꽂혔네.
Yeah, punch this guy to death. Awesome.
장부에 따르면 이걸로 제가 바꾼
I'll take sometimes. A little bit of violence. Okay, now give me DHE Rodion in the shop, please. Let me give her another skill 2 for consistency's sake. Ishmael, okay, that's the one person that we really don't want to change her stuff at all. We can grab everything else then. I mean, the plushie is pretty good for us. Nixie Divergence is not good for us in the slightest. I guess we'll change the skill 2 to skill 3 for you or something. Everyone can heal up a little bit. You're the only one who needs healing, cool. Okay, losing SP here is a little unfortunate, but it means we do more single target damage, which is most of the damage we do with this team. We're not using a lot of mass attacks because it doesn't really help us that much. Okay, Fairy Gentleman time.
오케이. 작전 지역 진입 확인했어.
Okay, this is definitely a stall kind of turn one. We let Heathcliff take as many hits as possible, I think. It's we let that hit you. We can also let you get hit. Okay, yeah. We're not gonna clash then. We want to take a bunch of damage because then it'll buff Dawn a bunch. It'll buff you two a bunch, just in general, which is good for us. And we avoid the envy skills on everyone else. This looks good. It's a setup turn. We're just mainly doing this so that Faust gets her haste. And next turn we can get the big envy going. Okay, cool. I'll have this. You sure are having it. More slappage. Bunch of offense level for Heathcliff. He's feeling a little mad, a little bit antsy. For a second I thought Faust's sprite just disappeared, but no, it's just because the animation makes her move out of her circle, apparently.
곧 위험한 공격이 찾아올 거예요.
Okay,
대처하실 수 있죠?
excellent. Looks like a great turn. Which part's being targeted by this? The body. Okay. What if we just Awakening then? I don't really want Awakening. I want to Corrode it. We can just go for the body. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. We'll go all out on it. So, Severnaught, Snag Harpoon, Proof of Loyalty, Chains of Loyalty, Weight of Knowledge, Flying Sword. Do we want to try countering with you? I think we should. You clash that. Hopefully, we might stagger the body before we get a chance to use the counter, though, which is the one thing. But in that situation, like, losing the skill 2 isn't, like, the biggest deal in the world. Okay, that's fine. If we're really lucky, it'll randomly target the body. Again, it's a 50-50 whether or not the coin attack will hit the body or the arm. And it would make a huge difference in the amount of damage we're about to deal.
잘 드네요.
That is unfortunate. That is not the part we wanted to hit.
점이었겠죠?
Also, if we went for the arm, we could have actually gotten, you know, benefits from the mark, too. Which would have been really nice. The arm, we definitely would have had no chance of, getting the counter off on, though. That's for sure. Well, you're still taking 40% more damage from
효과적이네요.
Heathcliff's attacks and 30% more damage from, you know, the other attacks. Yeah, there's the stagger. So no counter for Dawn. Unfortunate. Unless there's... Oh, no, wait, this hits... Oh, you fool. You've ruined yourself. You've doomed yourself. You could have just not, and then you wouldn't have taken 300 damage this turn. What a genius.
상황이 좋다고 할 수는 없지만
Okay.
여러분은
That's
하실 수
pretty
있을
good.
거예요.
We're just gonna kill you. That's really all there is left to do. If you want to be funny, we can, like... go for this. Pretty funny. Yeah, why not? Don't know if we'll get the chance to do it. Yeah. Rodion just kills here. Oh no, wait, do we? Or does it dies? Okay, yeah. I thought as much. The Fairy Point just kind of blows up when Fairy Gentleman dies, because that was the main target of the mass attack. But all's well that ends well. Pretty good stuff.
들리지 않네. 심장 고동 소리. 모든 고래. 심장 소리. 멈춰도 있을까?
So sad.
내가
Yeah, a lot of you gets some good stuff. Didn't get to build around like any of the boys stuff we could have gone for, but I think that wasn't the main thing as much as the bleed and of course the envy was the real big main thing. Yeah, cool stuff. Oh, I did my weekly. Nice. For a second I was like, wait a second, did I forget to like do my dailies? But no, I did my dailies. I always do my dailies. Yeah. Fun unit. I do so much love having multiple of the same Sand Affinities on the identity. It really changes just how much can be done now. That's for sure. And yeah, this thing can do a stupid amount. That's for sure. Still gotta bleed too if you're low HP. Especially when you consider, I think, Wound Clarendon makes it so each of these bleeds does more. I don't know. That might not be how it works. I don't think that is how it works. I think the knife, the rusty knife, would have made it so each of these does more. Did I just turn down the knife during your run? I realized the knife showed up at one point and I just proceeded to not take it because I wasn't thinking. I think it was in a shop or something. Huh. Funny thing to realize now. A little too late for that. But anyways, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.